He has truly gone from undesirable to undeniable. Cody Rhodes is finally back in WWE after 6 years, where he helped form All Elite Wrestling and take on some of the biggest independent stars in the business. After an apparent breakdown in contract negotiations, Cody Rhodes' AEW departure and his return to WWE has been one of the biggest stories in professional wrestling in recent memory. But who will follow him out of Tony Khan's new wrestling company? I'm Kevin, and today we look at 5 potential All Elite Wrestling stars who could make the jump to WWE. Number 5, Brian Cage. Tony Khan's booking of Brian Cage, in the eyes of some, has been disappointing. The former Impact World Champion joined the company with a lot of hype and seemed destined to be a main eventer. Alas, while his alliance with Team Taz ran its course and the FTW Championship didn't really raise his stock, it seemed like he could not reach the next level. Cage's booking hasn't always been the strongest in AEW, with even his wife getting on social media to complain about it. It is easy to imagine Vince McMahon taking a liking to Brian Cage. Ha ha ha! He could easily thrive in the world of WWE, whether it be on the main roster or in WWE NXT, with his superstar physique and athletic moveset that doesn't lend itself to a man of his size. It's worth noting, Cage has been on the WWE radar before, but the company never pulled the trigger with the Swolverine. With his larger-than-life look and experience, Cage could become the exact type of wrestling superstar that WWE would consider signing to their big ranks. Time to unleash the Cage from his cage, right? Number 4, FTR. They became the first tag team Triple Crown champions by winning the Raw, NXT, and SmackDown tag team titles. They were the Revival then, but frustrated, they decided to leave the WWE ranks, and tag team wrestling as a whole wasn't being treated the way they felt it should be. FTR's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood left the WWE in 2020, despite being offered a hefty sum to stay. Since then, they found plenty of success on the independent circuit and are currently on a white-hot run in All Elite Wrestling. Within months of debuting within AEW, they won the tag team titles, making them the first team to win both the WWE and AEW tag belts. That's not all. The pair have further made their presence felt by putting on outstanding matches with the Young Bucks, the Briscoe Brothers, CM Punk and Jon Moxley, and many, many more. And the plot thickens for the top guys once again, as a recent report from old Millennial Meltzer himself, Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp, stated that WWE has renewed interest in bringing the team back to the WWE fold. Number 3, Ricky Starks. He has it all. Every single tool that you would need to become a pro wrestling star, Starks has it. Confident in his skills, he has aligned himself with Team Taz for most of his time in All Elite Wrestling. He is the de facto leader, having ousted Brian Cage from the group and taking control of the FTW Championship. But injuries have hampered his progress, with other new signings having surpassed him around that injury time. He's young enough to be molded within the company's style and grow within it. Starks even had a tryout with the company in 2017, but it didn't work out. That doesn't mean it can't work out in the future, as that has been the same course for dozens of other wrestlers. Now that he has had a chance to showcase himself on national television, has WWE seen more in him that they would want to develop themselves? Yes, Jericho, you made the list. You get what we did there? Chris Jericho was the first major name outside of the Elite faction to join All Elite Wrestling in 2019. But all wrestling fans really know his name from his tenure in WWE, where he has certified his place there as a Hall of Fame superstar. While in AEW he's become world champion and helped establish the brand, one has to ask, the guy who has it all, a hit podcast, a massive hit with his band Fozzy, does he want the glow of WrestleMania again? There's only one place you can do it, and that's in WWE. La Champion took to Twitter earlier this month and paid tribute to Kevin Owens, one of his biggest rivals in WWE, who back in 2017, they had a very successful program under the Festival of Friendship that led to a WrestleMania match. But Dave Meltzer recently noted in a recent episode of Wrestling Observer Radio that AEW picked up a 2-year contract extension on Jericho. It means the former world champion is reportedly under contract until at least 2024. We may have to wait a little bit longer to see Jericho back in WWE. Make no mistake, whether or not we see Jericho back in WWE, we're going to see him in the Hall of Fame, right? Number 1. MJF. Imagine it. The countdown at a Royal Rumble. 3, 2, 1. Out struts the million-dollar villainous grin of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. MJF has been rather open to weighing his options on which company he could sign with when his contract with AEW is reportedly up in 2024. He is currently one of the hottest heels in all of professional wrestling, and it would be a shame if he left for WWE. That is, if you're just a fan of AEW. But as for a star himself who knows his own value, he spoke to Steel Chair Magazine and was open about the situation. AEW runs deep in me. I don't want to leave, but if somebody's got an offer for me, I'm going to listen to it. With Cody Rhodes being a star who pretty much handpicked MJF to join the AEW team, would it surprise you if young Maxwell brought his Burberry scarf over to the land of McMahon to follow his one-time mentor and great rival? Yeah, there are other forbidden doors that can be kicked open in the wrestling business. What did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Get down there in the comments and let us know. And subscribe to our channel, WrestleBinge by Sportskeeda.